Hello, Money Multipliers. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Multiplier podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Kesler, and we ask ourselves, do our dollars make sense? Y'all, I was thinking about this not too long ago, and specifically after I read the book, Die with Zero. When did it become mainstream ideology and a topic to start living our lives until age 65 and after? All right, I mean, that's just what we've been traditionally taught. Hey, you should grow up, go get a good job, raise the family, find a nice spouse, have the babies, and go climb the corporate ladder, max out your retirement account, and then at age 65, that's when you can start enjoying your life. Why do we do that? Okay, and I know this is coming around mentally to my Gen Z and my millennial generation, but why do we follow that regular advice? Or even you'll hear next week, I brought a guest on and he calls it the propaganda, the financial propaganda that's pushed on us as the working class. So to me, I really want to break down in today's episode what money actually is, what we're doing with it, why do we handle it that way? Because you can be making great moves for yourself. You can be working super hard and loving your job, loving your gig, loving the life that you're living. But I don't want y'all to run out of time because you're following this mainstream ideas. So let's break it down for a second. What is money? Money is nothing more than just a means of exchange, okay? That's all that money is. All we do with money all day long is we exchange it for the goods, the products, the services that we're buying in life. Money for food, food for money, money for car, car for money, money for house, house for money. That's all that money is. And the purpose of our money is, well, hey, I'm going to go and enjoy my life. I'm going to go pay the bills, put a roof over my head, send the kids to college, pay the taxes I have to pay. And that's the purpose of money. And we've been taught to go and use our money and to hoard it somewhere. Put it into this perspective. If I'm taking dollars and say I'm putting away into a qualified retirement account or even a savings account, or maybe you even leave your money underneath your mattress or in a safe in your house, I don't care. You got to store the money somewhere. And we've been taught to go and hoard the money someplace and then in the future start withdrawing from that cash accumulation bucket that you've built up over these years, and that's what's going to fund for income during the retirement years when you're no longer clocking into the 9 to 5. And it seems like a good idea at the start of it, does it not? But we have to go back. What is money? Money is nothing more than a means of exchange, right? So if I were to take that same analogy and I were to go buy myself a house or a car, and I wait 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 plus years into the future until I'm 65 to drive the car or move into the house, that would be kind of stupid. It'd be kind of ridiculous, would it not? So why do we do the same things with our money? You guys will do things with your money that you would never do with things that money buys. You would never go out, purchase a car, and then wait to drive it until you're 65 years old. That would be stupid and crazy, would it not? So why do we do the same things with our money? Money's nothing more than just a means of exchange. So I get it. It's all about your mindset. How you think about your money is going to greatly impact how much money that you have. So for me, instead of hoarding or accumulating my wealth somewhere, now given cash accumulation is important, you got to have some dollars set aside for the rainy day times. Let's say you get laid off, COVID happens again, something happens. You need to have some cash reserves for that emergency funds and for that time to float you along. But a lot of the times we're putting a crap load of our wealth inside of these qualified accounts and then waiting until 65 to enjoy our life. That's the most terrible financial plan that you could have. Literally in my podcast studio, I have a painting hung up on the wall that says, "The journey is the destination." I got to remind myself of that sometimes too, because I have specific goals that I'm trying to accomplish for myself, and I'll get so fixated on the goal that I stop enjoying the journey of what has gotten me there in the first place. So we need to enjoy this life and this time that we do have on our side, because time is the only resource that we cannot get back. Let's talk about those retirement accounts for a second. Who believes in compound interest? Who listening to me right now believes in compound interest? A lot of us, all of us, right? We've all been taught that compound interest is such a great thing. But in order for compounding to actually work, we have to let our money sit still somewhere. So if I were to take a $100 bill and I want it to compound, I'm going to go to the bank, hand them my $100, and now the money's compounding. If I go back in a year, a week, a day later, and I take back my $100, I've now stopped the compounding on that money. But isn't motion a natural law of God? Everything in life is about motion. I got up this morning, I went to the gym, I was running on the treadmill, I look outside the window right here, I see the birds in motion in the sky. I'm actually recording this at Mom and Pop's house right now. I drove over in my car. I ate lunch today. That food's gonna be in motion in me soon. I mean, everything in life is about motion. Who wants to eat fish out of a stagnant pond? I don't. Compounding stops that motion is what I'm saying. Compounding stops the motion on your money. So if I were to ask you, what business in the world actually uses compound interest? What would you tell me? The one you're probably thinking of is banks. Hannah, banks use compound interest. Well, let's think about it. Do banks use compound interest? No. They pay you compound interest and they charge you compound interest, but they're not using it themselves. Here's what I mean. If I take a $100 bill and let's say I highlight it and I put my initials on it, and I walk down to the bank, I say, "Hey banker, here's my $100. Do you think there's a little black box in the back that says Hannah Kesler? They put my $100 bill in there and they wait until I come back and retrieve it? No. Because if I go back in a month, a day, a few hours, and I want my $100 back, do you think they're going to give me the same $100 bill that I highlighted and I put my initials on? No, because banks are in the lending business. They're lending out your money back to you and other people, and they're making a good living off of it. I'm going to also ask you some questions here. Is a dollar worth more today or in the future? It's worth more today. And if you ever forget about that, think about how many candy bars you could buy 20 years ago for $1 and how many you can buy today for $1. And taxes. Are taxes going to go up or go down? They're probably going to go up. And if they don't go up, aren't we taxed on more crap all the time? And when you go and pay the tax on your money, would you rather pay the tax on the small amount the seed or the large amount the harvest? The seed, in my opinion. And I agree with all three of those answers, but you are totally violating them by putting your money in those qualified accounts, the 401ks, the IRAs, because what you're doing is you're giving up good dollars today. Your dollar's always going to be worth more today to get paid back with non-guaranteed weaker dollars in the future. And then when you want to go and take out the money from those accounts, now you got to pay the taxes on it. Just to avoid the 10% penalty, you got to wait till age 59 and a half. I know a lot of y'all right now who are prior to age 59 and a half, and you actually need your capital right now. You're drowning in some debt. You're sending out a boatload of interest payments to the creditors and the debt people right now. So why do we do things with money that we would never do with things that money buys? I really want y'all to start thinking about what you're doing. I know. Nobody's ever put it in this perspective of, hey, I just didn't think about it this way. I always thought that I was doing something good for myself because I'm setting money aside, and that's what everybody else in my life is doing or told me to do. My boss is doing it. My colleagues, my family members, my friends, all of them are maxing out these retirement accounts, and I thought it was something good I was doing for myself. But are you in a position where you feel like you can just never get ahead, and you feel like you're in this financial hamster wheel just trying to go and get ahead, but your bank accounts aren't showing it? Or you look at your bank account at the end of the month and you're like, where in the hell did my money go over the month? We got to start taking over the ownership and the control of the money, and more specifically, the financing that we're doing within our life. Because no matter if you're 9 years old financing a bicycle for yourself, or you're 90 years old funding for your retirement, you finance every single thing that you buy. You either pay cash, thus giving up the interest you could have earned on the money, or you go and bank finance it and thus paying them all of the interest payments. So how can I create a system in a place to keep the money that I'm already making? How can I put my dollars into a place that allows me to use my good money today, but then also satisfy the latter years of the income that I want and need during my retirement? Oh, I'm so glad you asked, community, because let me share with you something that's called the infinite banking concept. And if you are new here, this is a concept that has been around for over 200 years. I mean, even longer than our tax code's even been here. And our tax code's only been here since 1913. So in this concept, you're able to utilize your cash immediately, right away, without having to jump through hoops or ask permission or have taxes, penalties, fees associated with it. You can use that money. Number two, kind of with number one, it's liquid, all right? So like I was saying, it's liquid money. You can use it for whatever you want. It's the control of it too. You are in control and nobody can tell you if you can use that money. And then number three, it's getting on the right side of the compounding interest. Because yes, compound interest is a great thing. Albert Einstein tells us that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, and those who understand it will earn it, and those who don't will pay it. So I want to get on that right side of compound interest. But see, I want to have access to my good dollars today. So when I'm utilizing this system, what is a whole life insurance policy? The vehicle itself, it's a whole life insurance policy. Now, it's not just the traditional whole life policy that you can go buy off the shelf from your brother-in-law that sells life insurance. Because we all got a brother-in-law that sells life insurance, do we not? It's not one of those policies. It has to be designed specifically for high immediate cash value. And that policy, when designed correctly, when you put a premium deposit into that policy, then immediately, my definition of immediately is within 30 days, there's a cash value in there that you can take out and start using. Again, with no penalties, no fees, you are in control of it. Go buy a pack of chewing gum down at the convenience store with your policy money if you really want to. There's no limitations to what you can use the capital for. So what I'm doing over here is, instead of waiting until I'm 65 to actually live my life, I am funding my policy and I'm using the cash values to finance the purchases that I'm already going to go make for myself. I like to travel. I take vacations. I have business expenses. I gotta pay taxes. I am going to continue to buy houses and buy cars throughout my life. Maybe someday in the future, I'm going to go buy myself a boat, like my younger brother did with one of his policies, right? So whatever it is, I'm using the cash values today to finance my purchases. And I'm also using this system to buy investments so that my retirement plan is I'm using the cash values to buy myself those cash flowing assets. So then come retirement, I have the cash flow coming in from those investments. And I can use the policy money to supplement my income tax-free, what I like to call invisible income during the retirement years. And what do I mean by getting on the right side of compound interest? See, the reason that I'm flowing my money through the policy, through my own banking system first, is because once my money hits the policy, now starts that time clock of the uninterrupted compounding interest. That's guaranteed, I will add. That's higher interest than what I'm going to get at the local bank inside of a checking or savings account or even a CD account. But I am now earning guaranteed uninterrupted compounding interest on my money. But at the same time, I can leverage against the policy, take out the cash values, and go buy XYZ transaction of what I'm looking at that specific moment in time. The biggest difference is I'm not withdrawing the cash out. I'm taking a policy loan. I'm using the insurance company's money. And I know when you're thinking about loan in the traditional sense, you're thinking, Hannah, that's a payment. It's a debt. It's an expense to me. A loan, I got to pay that back. I got to pay it back with interest. And if I don't, I'm going to get penalized in some way, or they're going to come and seize whatever collateral that I gave to them. No. Totally different. Okay. This is where this concept is not hard in my opinion. It's just such a 180 mental shift to what we've been conventionally taught about money. But the policy loan, it is not required to get paid back. I don't have to pay back my policy loan if I don't want to. However, I am going to. I'm going to be an honest banker. I'm going to pay myself back. I'm going to charge myself interest. The Bank of Hannah charges herself 10% interest. And the reason being is, number one, if you respect your money's going to flow and grow to where it's respected to. But number two, I'm expected to do that anyways with other people's money. So why wouldn't I just treat my money with the same respect that I do with other people's? Anytime you go borrow money from a bank, you're expected to pay it back on time, and you never skip a beat in doing it. So just have those same principles and habits with yourself and your own banking system. But see, that's the hardest part because you're in control of this thing, and literally the only person who can screw this stuff up is you and how you use your policy. And how disciplined are you going to be with your own capital? See, I think the infinite banking concept can fit anybody, but can it really fit everybody? Yeah, if they have the right mentality and the right discipline. And some of y'all, I love you, but you just do not have the discipline with your capital. You're much better off just going down to your Edward Jones, Charles Schwab guy, handing over the money and letting them manage everything, because you think if you got checks left on the counter that you still got money in the bank. Sorry, hate to break it to you. So you're the one who's in control of the system, and you get to decide if you even want to pay back your policy cash values, and let alone even charge yourself with interest. But it will, okay? If you truly treat this system and your own banking system like it's a business, you will start to see the cash appear and grow for you and be there during the times that you do need it. Where my ADD mind is going off to right now is actually the children's book that Chris Noggle and I wrote together called The Companion. And that was the whole story behind The Companion. It was the little girl who was going out there and her companion was helping her to slay the dragons. The slaying the dragons meaning market volatility. She had a shield. Her shield was her policy. The sword is the cash value loans that she's taking out from her policy. But she would just keep taking and taking from her companion, that the companion was always there. And she just never went back to nourish the companion, to give it love, feed it the attention that it deserves. And when the girl needed her companion, the companion just wasn't there because the companion or the little girl just kept taking and taking and taking from the companion. So you got to be respectful with your own money and your own banking system, or it's not going to be there in a time of dire need when you absolutely need it. And it kind of all just gets into, we always want to plan for the worst, but what's that saying? Plan for the worst, but live for the best. Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. So we do have to plan for those unseen times. And this is where I will store my emergency funds are stored within my policies too. And I don't just suck my policies dry. Okay. Sometimes y'all who are implementing this concept of becoming your own banker, you just totally suck all of the policy loans out and you never have a system to repay yourself back. You don't prep for when premiums are coming due because you're also just not following the principle of pay yourself first. I know we've all heard that before, pay yourself first, but do you actually do it? See, when I get money that comes in, I take a sliver of it and I set it to the side. I pay myself first and then I go pay everybody else next. I don't even know you, but I know how you spend your money. You get money that comes in and you go pay everybody else first. The house people, the car people, the insurance bill, the utilities, gasoline for the car, the grocery bill, and you just hope and pray that there's money left over for you. You got to stop that. You got to treat yourself as your number one asset. Pay yourself first and then go pay everybody else next. And that pay yourself first, that should be the monies that start to float through the policy. Matter of fact, now I'm thinking, even the differences between qualified retirement accounts and the policy, just on the tax standpoint, I want to pay tax on my money one time only, at the lowest rate possible, and then get that money into a tax-free environment where now it's growing tax-free for me. Anytime that I take money out of my policies, it's in a form of a policy loan. And loans are never taxed in the traditional sense. And when I am to that point where I'm pulling out more from my policy than what I even put into it, that's all tax-free dollars to me. I'm going to continue to take out loans. And the reason I'm going to continue to take out loans from the policies because then I'm never interrupting the interest that's earned on those dollars. But could you withdraw the cash value out of the policy too? Absolutely, you can withdraw the cash value out. I just don't recommend it because if you withdraw it out, you're physically taking out the money and now it's just no longer compounding for you. So I always want to get on that right side of really what's called the opportunity cost of our money so that I'm always having the opportunity to grow the money with the uninterrupted compounding that's happening. A lot of the times people just love to pay cash for things, retirement, funding for vehicles, whatever it is, and you guys want to pay cash because you think that when you pay cash for stuff, you don't got to pay any payments and you don't got to pay any interest. But that's just not the truth, because no matter if it's one payment of $20,000 or 20 payments of $1,000 each, a payment is a payment. And you're losing the interest you could have earned on that money simply by withdrawing the cash from that account. When you just take that money out, that money was sitting somewhere earning you some form of interest. And when you withdraw it out to go pay cash for something, the money's gone. You no longer have the dollars any longer. So instead, I'm just going to float the money, run the money through the policy first, and then from the policy, I'll take it out to go buy whatever it is. So then I'm no longer losing interest on my money. And that's why I love it for my investments as well. If you are an investor, I sum it up and I say I'm double dipping on the money. Because if I float the money through my policy first, now I'm earning the interest, and I can still leverage against it, take out the cash value, go buy the investment. So now I'm double dipping and I'm making money in two places rather than just the one. The whole idea is to give your dollar multiple jobs and multiple duties. When you do that and you go put your little green men to work for you, you're going to start to see the little green men start to multiply and create an army of those green men that are out there working for you. So again, back to my retirement, I'm making my dollar work even harder for me. I'm creating the passive income streams. And then when retirement comes, I got cash flow coming in from the investments that I do not have to work for the money. My money's working for me. And then I am also continuing to have that ball roll down the hill with the uninterrupted compounding coming from the policy that then I can use that for tax-free income replacement too. Hey, sorry to interrupt the episode here, but I want to take a quick break. If what you're hearing today has made you curious about infinite banking, how it works, I want you to go watch my free presentation. In it, I walk you through the same steps that my family took to pay off $984,000 of debt in 39 months, and how we've been able to recycle and recapture every single dollar since then. This isn't theory. This is real. I mean, this is what the wealthy have been using over 200 years to keep the money within the family. This is literally where banks, conventional banks, store a boatload of their dollars at. And it's the same process that we've helped thousands of families across the country put into action. So go to themoneyMultiplier.com/presentation and see for yourself how you can start taking control of your money today. All right, let's get back into the episode. I think liquidity is a big missed opportunity when we're looking at our financial planning. Life doesn't happen at retirement. It happens today. And even like you taking your vacations with your family, a vacation with your kids at when they're 8 years old versus when they're 28 and your body is 35 versus 75, it's just different. It's at a different point in life. I can even say, like, with my parents getting older, I'm noticing that even our relationship dynamic is shifting even more. And I value, nothing lasts forever. That's the most beautiful thing, most blissful thing, if you will. Bittersweet is maybe a better word I should use for it. But it's bittersweet that nothing lasts forever. So I need to enjoy the time that I have right now at this current present moment rather than waiting and offsetting to live my life in those later years. I'm not saying your retirement accounts are bad. They're just totally incomplete. I'm not anti-401k. I'm not putting all of my hope just into one bucket here. But those specific retirement accounts are designed for the later. Life happens now. It's happening around us right now and not later. So does your financial plan have a category for today? That's the question that you should be asking yourself. What is happening today? And could I actually be using this money today to get me into a better financial position? I was talking to somebody over the phone just this week and he goes, Hannah, I just want to feel free. I just want to feel free. I want to be able to live my life, have nobody tell me what I can do, when I can do it, and I just want to feel free. So the mindset of us saving up later and prepping for times is important, because a failure to plan is a plan to fail. But I want y'all to not wait until the later years to start living your life. And who even says that retirement has to be an age? Shouldn't it be a number? Shouldn't it really be like a freedom number? And I've even been pondering on this. And matter of fact, a little sneak peek, I've been working on some calculators for y'all to really help you see this and see your specific number. I'm titling it the get ahead number, okay? But a lot of the times people want to come to you and talk about like a big lump sum of money that you should be having in order to then retire. No, I'm matching it more to the cash flow. The cash flow coming in. I believe my freedom number is my expenses times 2. And how can I get that incoming to me as a passive stream of income? For example, let's say my expenses are $8,000 a month. That is just my necessities. That is me just living my life. $8,000 a month is what I'm sending out. So to me, my freedom number, I want it to be $16,000 a month. How can I get myself to the point where I'm pulling in $16,000 a month from passive monies so that I can then take my time back and then I can use that money to go on the fun adventures for myself? Retirement, y'all, it's just such a 180 backwards thinking. I don't think retirement should have an age attached to it. I think retirement really begins when your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses times 2. So instead of the whole mentality of work harder, save harder, wait, and then die, try to earn. Oh my gosh, just think about this. Think about your time and how much your time is actually worth. There are some people who will pass away, let's say with $300,000 that's sitting in a retirement account. And let's just make believe in order to get that $300,000 in that retirement account, it took them 10 years to do that. But you pass away. You just wasted 10 years of your life to accumulate that 300 grand, and now you can no longer use the money. You can't get buried with your money. You can't die with your money. So why don't you continue to use your good money today? Imagine spending your entire life building this bridge and you actually never walk across the bridge. Or imagine having a pantry full of food and your family is hungry, but you've decided that nobody can eat until next year. That's essentially what you're doing with your money right now in those retirement accounts, my opinion. So I want to ask you, when was the last time that you really made a memory that you'll remember forever? I believe life is about moments. It's about memories. You're never going to remember all of the fancy cars and toys that you bought. Maybe you will. There's going to be some of you that love that whole souped up trucks and whatever. But when is the last time that you really made a memory that you'll remember forever? And what are you postponing until someday? If you keep pushing things off until someday, I hate to break it to you, but that day is never going to come. And what if something changes within your health? Literally, nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. I wake up every day thanking God for another day that I get to live here on this planet and this earth. If your health were to change tomorrow, what would you regret not doing with your life? Or as my mentor says, if it was the last day of your life, what would you want to do with it? I think we need to start living and moving out of that mentality until the someday, until I'm 65, that's when I can start living my life. And does your financial plan support your life, or is it just supporting your retirement? See, I can continue to make more and more money, but time is not an endless supply. Everybody's got an expiration date, unless you're a vampire. Everybody's got an expiration date. Freedom should be the end result, but you need to enjoy this journey. Retirement is not about the destination. Freedom and the peace that we get out of our money and our financial life, that's what we're all after. So I would just encourage y'all, go and look at what you're doing with your account. I know a lot of us, we just get up every day, we swing through life, we make sure we're taken care of, the family's taken care of, but we never look and pause to really think about this life journey that we're on. If you knew you couldn't get these years back, would your financial plan look any different to you? I'm not telling you to spend recklessly. I'm not telling you to ignore retirement. I'm simply asking you to build a plan that lets you prepare for tomorrow without forgetting to live today. Because financial freedom isn't just about having enough money at 65. It's about having enough control over your money that you can create a meaningful life at every single stage along the way. And that's what whole life insurance allows me to do. That's what the infinite banking concept allows me to do. And if you haven't already, I would read this black book, Becoming Your Own Banker. Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. This book has completely changed mine and my family's financial life. And I'm just here spreading the message. What has made me successful at my youthful years of 26. I'll be 27 this month. Ha ha. Yes, I'm accepting flowers, love plants, love money. Any cat toys, would love that too. Just playing, y'all. But it is. I started this whole journey when I was 18 years old, got into investing when I was 20, and that then led me to becoming a millionaire by the time I was 24. I have the freedom. I could retire if I really wanted to. I just don't want to yet. I got too much to share, too much knowledge that I want to give to the community. I have more that I'm continuing to learn every day of my life as well. So I'm just continuing on serving God's children because, hey, retirement's not in the Bible. I don't really believe in retirement because that's when you stop serving God's children. That's just my opinion. But I want to leave this place better than how I found it, and I want people to have the control, the certainty over their life instead of giving it and leaving it to somebody else. But other than that, that's really just all my thoughts today. We got a few good episodes coming up here in the next few weeks, but if you want to have a conversation, send me an email, Hannah, spelled the same ways forwards and backwards, hannah@themoneymultiplier.com, and we can have a one-on-one conversation about what you're doing in your financial life, how this concept can fit into the bigger picture, your holistic view of your monies and your finance, and really how you can change the total trajectory of your life and then also your family's life. Because, hey, when it happens, when you pass away, you graduate, you go home, there's also going to be that death benefit that gets paid out. And that death benefit, I can leave it to whoever I want, tax-free lump sum money. So if you have no family members that you want to leave the money to, hello, my name is Hannah Kesler. I'm just playing. But there's charitable organizations, there's churches. You can always list them as the beneficiaries of your policy. And that's another way that you can give back and leave this place a better place than how you found it. All right, y'all. Well, until next week, be well, do good. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. And rate the podcast. Leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, help your girl out. And as always, I'm here to continue to serve, educate, and bring you the knowledge that I'm learning up to this point in my life, because we're all just learning, right? You can never hit the arrival syndrome. There's always new things that can be learned throughout this lifetime. All right, catch you next time, Money Multipliers. Bye. Hey y'all, if you've made it this far, this is where most people stop, and that's why they continue to be stuck with their money. Continue on with your education. Click right here. It'll take you to the next video.